The danger in not clarifying to the world who we are is that there are those who would maliciously mislabel us as terrorists just because we say the black man is God. The nation of gods and earths are petitioning courts all over the country for theological freedom to define both God and devil without being persecuted or punished. At the same time, it is very important to, in our words, tell the world who we are as well as telling them who we are not. This way, they won't be tricked by the foolish ranting of racist, political, agenda-driven, misinforming fearmongers looking for money and career advancement by abusing our good name. We understand that the freedom we seek is a constitutional guarantee, even though mainstream religions and people don't agree that it should be. It is those who oppose the constitutional rights of this nation that are practicing anti-American principles while we subscribe to them. Truthfully, it is as if the father and founder of the nation of gods and earth predicted history in advance. He must have seen how the religion of Islam and Muslims will become synonymous to terrorists posing a danger to America way back in 1964. His personal separation from religious Islam and Muslims, as well as the nation's separation from them in the past as well as the present, excludes us from being linked to any terrorist, Muslim, or radical Islam, period. There is clearly no link between us and them. We implore America to protect our rights as you do the Afghans on the other side of the world. We cannot understand how you could prevent Afghans from persecuting a Muslim who converted to Christianity in a country we hold responsible for the tragedy of 9/11 while still denying the nation of gods and earths who are American-born citizens our right to embrace God as we understand it. If you can successfully do at home with the children of former slaves what you did in Afghanistan, and maybe you could develop real credibility in the world. America always talks about how other countries need to allow their people freedom, but the nation of gods and earths are still not free to teach that the black man is God. America cannot practice theological discrimination against us without being hypocritical. You cannot just stand up for Christianity and deny our nation its path to God. Do not let the fact that we teach that the black man is God and the white man is the devil as an excuse to call us black supremacists and label us an illegitimate path to God. Our ancestors were brought to this country as slaves. We were beaten, robbed, raped, murdered, boiled in oil, castrated, and hung for profit and sport for centuries. Anyone who would do that to another person is evil and wicked, and that is the description of the devil. That is not hate speech. It is American history. Your ancestors lived out this evil every day. You made it the law of the land. It was illegal for me to be free to read, to protect my daughter when you came to rape her, and you have never recognized the pain you have caused me. You have never been held accountable, so in other words, you pulled off the greatest inhumanity to man without ever having to even acknowledge the error of your ways. Instead, you added insult to injury, and then told me that the only God I could ever have would look like the same man who introduced me to hell on earth. It is you who have forced white supremacist teachings on me and my people on every level, especially when it comes to who and what is God. Your Christianity teaches Jesus is the Son of God depicted as a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white man. You depict his mother Mary as also being white. So if the mother is white, the son is white, it's plain you're saying his father is also white. Simply put, you have been teaching that the white man is God for centuries. Why is it hate for me and not you? Once again, you're being hypocritical. You don't have to be. Of course, black people who were brought to a land that was not their own are worthy of a God that reflects their own identity. You would never force the Jews to accept the image of Hitler as their God. America and every country involved have paid the Jews vast sums of money because of their suffering. Jews claim natural superiority over all peoples on the planet because they claim that they are the chosen people of God while everyone else is called a Gentile. Even worse, Christians who claim the same Jews killed their Jesus, they say is the Son of God, they don't deny the Jews anything. I have done nothing. Black people have done nothing but suffer at white people's hands. So they cannot say to us that we teach hate when what I'm saying is the truth. However, because I reject the white depiction of God and accept a black one, you have the nerve to call me a racist, a hate monger, and other vile slanderous names. You are so wrong on every level that I am super confident that your constitution and courts will speak against your theological oppression of the nation of gods and earths. It is not for you to decide how I choose to love God. That choice is mine. I am a citizen of this great country, and I count on its greatness to outweigh the small-minded people who would attempt to keep me a slave to religion. Now, if you're angry because we teach that the white man is the devil, then show and prove you are not the devil, that your forefathers were to my ancestors. You should be angry at your ancestors, not the people who was who were subjected to the unspeakable horror and atrocities committed by your forefathers' devilishment. You cannot deny the Holocaust that is so well documented, and you are more concerned with saying you're not guilty than you are with any kind of recognition or atonement. There is no statute of limitation on murder and genocide, and perhaps you are not guilty of the activities of committing crimes, but you have most under the law. Your justice for us has always been blind, but she would always see the law book to set you free and put me in the prison. Let me be clear. That was definitely how it was in the past, and the sad fact is, it's still pretty much the same way right now. Let me give y'all an example of a case that directly affects this nation. In a New York State case called Maria vs. Gord, intelligent Tarifa Law petitioned the court on behalf of the nation of gods and earth. As a result, the nation of gods and earth won the right to be God in the New York State prison system without being sent to the box, hole, or segregation. The court cannot legally say whether our path to God was right or wrong, but what the court did do that hurt us was to allow a corrections department arm of the government the opportunity to still mislabel us again. She turned over the final say on how we would continue to be discriminated against over to the Department of Corrections legal team. Led by Anthony Annucci, the head attorney for the New York State Department of Corrections, they put together protocols for how the nation would continue to be mistreated. They can no longer deny entry of the 5% newspaper or any publication from this nation. However, the paper is now under the media review of Mr. Annucci's office. The papers are only allowed in the law library, but it's not a legal document. It is never on time, although we send them out in a timely manner. They are routinely defaced, written on, and arbitrarily edited by Mr. Annucci himself according to his personal denials of articles. They remain hostile to us as an outside entity, and it's clear that they don't respect us at all. When they see pictures of our children on photo pages using a universally accepted peace sign, they have the audacity to delete those pages claiming that our children are using gang signs. Even more sinister is that their actions are really saying they are passing judgment on free cipher gods and earth and have effectively mislabeled the entire nation again. We attempted to maintain an open dialogue so that we could work with the administration, but they don't want to work with us. We won the right to have a cultural representative go into the prisons to provide cultural guidance and direction to our brothers behind the wall, but they are still stonewalling us. Our cultural representative can only meet with one brother at a time in a secluded visiting area. We have well-qualified brothers right now who have petitioned the DOC on behalf of the nation, but are being denied. I know I'm real fast, but are being denied because they used to be incarcerated 10, 20, or 30 years ago. We find this kind of denial strange because many Christians who are released from prison and turn their life around are allowed to set up prison programs. They are allowed to go into facilities as examples that just because you were once in prison doesn't mean that you can never be a productive member of society. This nation has redemptive qualities and living examples who can positively affect the lives of prisoners, but once again, we are denied the opportunity. The bottom line is that there is a blatant rejection of anything not religious or Judeo-Christian. It is institutional and a national problem that America can still correct. If you are not like your forefathers who abused power to enslave us physically, then change how you treat this nation of gods and earth. Show and prove that you are good enough to allow us freedoms from the confines of religious slavery and discriminatory practices. Emancipate us from your guilt over your past that we tell the truth about. You have the present time to do it, and we are more than willing to work with you to help you understand that the acceptance of us frees you from distorting our constitutional rights. Emancipate us and make the proclamation that you are a better people than your forefathers whose constitution stated that I was 3/5 human and 2/5 animal so that you could buy and sell me illegally. Until you become better than that person and respect the part of the Constitution that says all men are created equal and all Americans have a Bill of Rights that ensures their right to a God of their own understanding, you cannot say you have changed. Your courts can be a vehicle through which you can make your change the law that everyone can see. The nation of gods and earth needs an emancipation proclamation. Peace. I know I'm going through it, and I know I talk a lot. And what I have up here too, and I have limited copies that I want to give to one person that can take it back to their region. We have put together a petition to the United States House of Representatives Judiciary, and Ethics Committees, and for the United States Senate. And this package explains basically, briefly, our history and why we should be free and why we can no longer have our children subjected. Because understand what's going on right now in America. And if this nation does not clearly define itself on all levels, if we are not present in the court of public opinion and speak our mind and reveal to the world who we are, other people will tell the world who we are not, and they will be believed. So it is very important that this struggle continue, and that those brothers in the P now is not treated like we don't know that they over there. Okay, their struggle is our struggle. Please remember that. Peace.
Please, we're running out of time. I just want to add on to what Juan King was building on. We have a Queens Correspondence Committee, which is headed in Richmond, Victory Law. So if any of the queens would like to add on by giving me your name and address, or you can email me at Netia, NETIYA17 @Yahoo. I can get you information about that. And also, we know time is everything, so the Health Intake Committee, we're going to need assistance from all of the regions. So if you can take back this information with you, you can email me again, or Queen Shamika at Zaire7 at Yahoo, at AOL. We're striving to relocate the Health Intake Committee this year from the school to Harriet Tubman, but that is going to cost us a fee, so we would like each region to possibly add on, and we'll be keeping you all posted as far as what the expectation is and what we're planning to do. And also, if there's any healthcare providers in your region, let them know to contact us as well if they would be willing to add on. And another bit of information for everybody, I want to let you all know that we do have a calendar for the health committee, and each month the healthcare providers in your community or within your region is supposed to go over an issue related to our people each month and be there to answer any questions. If you do not know who that person in your region is, you can contact myself or Queen Shamika, and we'll get you that information, or we'll provide that information for you. Peace.
Peace.
One.
Thanks, I'm Queen Celeste. We're going to keep this moving. This is the conclusion of the Region 4 conference. But what I wanted to say is we are all in mind of people who came out of town, who arrived this morning, which is why there is a gap between the conference and the actual dinner dance tonight, because we wanted you to get some rest. We also wanted people who came out of town to be able to find places in the area, as well as feed the seeds and yourselves. So we're going to have that gap in time, which is why we're not doing this back-to-back from straight from the conference to the dance, because Queens we want to look right anyway, so we got to get ready. Some of us might have to go pick out some shoes, which might be a couple of hours. You know how we do, guys. So what we're going to do is I'm going to be standing outside at the little table. For people who are from out of town that don't know how to get around, and you need to find somewhere to go, whether it's to eat or to shop, or you just want to waste some time, please come out there and see. Warren Savior is actually going to take a group, whoever wishes to go, he's going to take a group of people around the corner to where the actual dinner dance is going to be. So if you are staying somewhere else, or you don't know where it's at, it's going to show you exactly where it is. Okay, so we want to make sure that when you leave here, like in about 3 minutes, you actually have somewhere to go and a means to get there. Okay, so kind of like a little hospitality, and then we're going to go there. So again, we'd like to thank everybody who took the time, the energy, the goal to actually get here. We'd like to thank you for coming out, and all the speakers, beautiful. Born King, that was it. That was the way to, put the spin on it right there. So, we're so blessed to have everybody here. So, again, my name is Queen Celeste, and I want to say peace.
Peace. Hey, one other thing, I have to do a head count, all right? As I go out, I will be counting, so I know how many places set up.
Peace. Stay in here? Yes. ask you something. I need the mask as well.